every single zombies cutscene. Now, I did this as kind of like a two-part series with the ranking every characters video. I don't really know which video I'm gonna put out first, but one of them is gonna be coming out first, and I believe that they should be sanctioned together because of the fact that with each ranking of every single character, the cutscenes really provide a lot of the intel that we need to see how the character archetypes flow. These are only cutscenes within the game. Keep in mind, these are not trailers that have been debuted. This is only in Black Ops 3 as well. These are only cutscenes, so there's only 11. But anyways, let's get into our number 11 spot, and this has to be the Der Eisendrache intro. Now, the reason why I put the Der Eisendrache intro is because, boys, we've seen this motherfucker a billion times, and I think one of the biggest reasons why it's not up on the list and it's the lowest is just because it's one of the only intro cutscenes in Black Ops 3 that uses a drawing cinematic look. Because I remember when this first came out, a lot of people were very confused and very upset that they didn't have an actual CG sort of cinematic here where they had the renders and everything. No, this was all hand-drawn, which in my opinion looked really good, but I don't know, even then, on top of the drawing, it didn't really explain too much of a story. Like, the whole cutscene basically consists of them going from a robot up to a gondola into a castle, and we have no storyline as to why. We just know that we're getting Ultimus Dempsey at this area, and I think that is probably one of the main reasons it just doesn't hold up for me, because it's not really explaining anything new. Now, going on to our number 10 spot, and I am surprised I'm putting it this low, but I really just do not like this. This is the Revelations outro.
Sophia.
Step out from the shadows.
This is the last cutscene of Black Ops 3 Zombies, and in my opinion, this is what killed Black Ops 3 Zombies in its entirety for me, because with this cutscene, people were pissed off. I swear to God, like Treyarch since Black Ops 2 and even Black Ops 1 in a couple ways, they just can't make a satisfying ending to their fucking game. So if there's some dumb shit that happens in Black Ops 4, I will not be surprised, bros, because I don't understand how Treyarch cannot make one simple satisfying ending. Just give us what we want. Give us what we want in a satisfying conclusion, and I dislike that because Jason Modell and Craig Houston, although they can make an excellent story, I feel like they just tried to deter our expectations, and then they just give us something that we just don't really want, and something like the Revelations ending cutscene happens. So please, for the love of God, Black Ops 4, make a good ending cutscene. I don't like that how this is just a bunch of characters shoehorned in, and it's just kind of, oh well, I don't know what happened, I don't know what this map was, but apparently this is it, this is the end. I think this says a lot that I like this more than the Revelations ending cutscene. This is the Shadows of Evil Easter egg ending. This is like a minute long, boys. It's a minute long, and it's almost a static shot, but I like this more than Revelations ending cutscene, because I remember when we saw it, it was just the biggest debate. This was also the introduction to last gen Richthofen, so how could I not like this more, especially since the fact that I thought this would have led into a huge fucking chain of events, which I guess is going to be concluded or going to be continuing in Blood of the Dead, so it'll be interesting to see how that plays out there. But honestly, I'm not totally sure how I feel about this Easter egg ending. It was nice, it was cool, but as the main map, and that's the only story we get, it kind of feels like something you would see in World War II. So I hope they don't give us too many of these debate cutscenes, because this was a huge problem, I think, with Infinite Warfare, with Exo Zombies, and especially with World War II Zombies. So I don't like it because of that reason. It's well animated, it looks gorgeous if you're not playing on last gen, but other than that, that's about it. Now, coming into our number 8 spot, this has to be the Revelations intro. Now, regardless of the storyline, I think this intro has got to be one of the most beautiful looking cutscenes ever. But the reason I put it up here is because this cutscene just shoehorns in everything that just happened in like one DLC and just doesn't really explain anything. We just kind of have a bunch of kids at the house. We have Primus coming into the map, and it's just kind of the perfect world. That's just boring. You know what I mean? Like, I understand why it's the perfect perfect world. It's all the zombies maps that we've come to love and enjoy. And in a sense, it is on paper the theoretical perfect map, but in my opinion, it just didn't work out in the end. I love the visuals of this cutscene. I love the colors. I think it's gorgeous. But other than that, I feel like it puts too much of an emphasis on just shoehorn characters, which if you understand the Blood of the Dead intro cutscene, that makes sense. Coming into our number 7 spot, this has got to be the Giant intro cutscene. Now, the Giant doesn't actually have an outro because it doesn't really have an official Easter egg, but the intro for this map was fucking spot on, boys. I love the intro for this map. You start this map up, and I remember first time seeing this when the game was just being announced. You can feel it, man. When Primus Richtofen shot Ultimus Richtofen right in the head, there was everybody's jaw just fucking dropped. It was such a great moment. The cinematic and the way the camera moves between the zombies at the very end shot as well is super great. There's a bunch of great lines in this. You can actually feel the cohesion of Primus starting to form in this trailer. It's a gorgeous trailer to have, and it's so much fun to see that this is how they started it. I wish they would have kept the rest of the trailers at this type of level, but again, sadly, they did not. Now, coming into our next spot, this has to be the Shadows of Evil intro cutscene. I love the Shadows of Evil intro cutscene. Although we've seen it, and although there's those classic meme lines that we've heard too many times, it is such a well-shot cutscene. I think one kind of little gripe I have with it is that they put Jessica Rose's story at the beginning. I know when you load up Shadows of Evil, everybody's like, oh my god, skip the fucking shit, my mom's in the room, skip, but I understand that. But other than that, the story is actually very well done. It explains every single character's backstory in 3 minutes, which is really hard to do if you think about it. And once they compile that, it sends you straight into the map, and it's just gorgeous. I love the cinematography. I like how they use a lot of the map for the cutscenes. That's really nice as well. So that's why it's got to be just slightly above the Giant, even though the Giant, in my opinion, definitely had a lot more hype building up around it. Now, coming into our next spot, this has got to be, I think, almost the number 1 favorite intro cutscene of all of Black Ops 3 Zombies. This is Zetsubo's intro cutscene. Now, I love the intro cutscene. Now, the only reason I don't have it as the number 1 best is because you can kind of tell that a lot of the choreography within the cutscene is very similar to Indiana Jones. Like, they're both on a ship, they're both a moving artifact that they have to capture. Indiana Jones, it's the cross, and in this, it's the summoning key, but I love it. The action in the scene and the sense of danger is so imminent. I love the fact that they make it such a hype introduction to the map, and unfortunately, the map just ended up flopping. Like, I wish we would have been on a ship cruising through the swamp, and it would like, Zetsubo had such a good chance of being a great map, but then they just fucked it up, and I think they had the perfect idea with the cutscene. I just wish they would have captured that and put that onto the map rather than making a farming simulator. But coming into our next spot, this is where it gets emotional and where it gets super deep and where all that character development I was telling you about is. This has got to be the Der Eisendrache Easter egg outro. This was huge for the community. There was Treyarch watching this. When the first people that found this, discovered this was Noah, Milo, Reed. It was a huge deal. This was the very first time we got an Easter egg cutscene that was in-game. It wasn't just the MP4 file that somebody found. It was a huge fucking deal. And I remember seeing this, and it was so emotional seeing that Primus Dempsey was forced to kill his other self just to save the universe. I love this cutscene so much. It encapsulates everything that makes Der Eisendrache such a great map, and it just adds that nice cherry on top to solidify Dempsey's storyline and his whole character arc, and makes it such a perfect ending to his story. But coming into our next spot, this has got to be the best intro cutscene of all time, Garad Crow V. Now, I gotta be honest, it's definitely over the top. The characters start flying out of a portal from the sky. There's dragons, there's mechs. Jason Bledel didn't give a single fuck about this one, but I think that's what I love, because in a sense, you take that and that is the embodiment of what Nikolai is. He doesn't give a single fuck, and for him, and for this to be his world, something crazy over the top, just fucking insane, I think that's why I love it so much. And they perfectly capture that with all the falling debris from Zetsubo. Kind of a metaphor for Zetsubo kind of falling in, and then Garad Krovi just fucking smacks it out of the park. I love this intro cutscene. It's hyped with the Ace of Spades. It definitely is one of my favorite intro cutscenes, but I think there are cutscenes in Black Ops 3 that are better. Coming out to our number 2 spot, this has got to be the Zetsubo no Shima Easter egg ending. Now, I believe this is the longest Easter egg cutscene, but my god, does this one really pack a punch. It's very, very close quarters, and with the camera shooting behind bars, and there's a lot of imagery that's very interesting to see. And I think what makes this cutscene so much better is because Primus Takio finally learns that the Emperor is not what he thought, and it took himself to tell him that. I think that's such a powerful statement to really unmask the true identity of who you are by another version of yourself. It's a very different way of portraying that kind of message, but I love how Jason Bodell took this. I think it's easily one of the best cutscenes ever. I know Nick Saru has a whole video talking and dissecting about this cutscene, so if you want to check that out in full detail, definitely go check it out. But the Zetsubo no Shima Easter egg ending is gorgeous. It has a lot of iconic lines in there, and it's got to be one of my favorites, and it also leads to Blood of the Dead, so that's another great thing as well. But coming down to my favorite cutscene of Black Ops 3 Zombies of all time, and now it is actually impossible to get it because of a bug with the game. This is Garad Krovi's outro cutscene. What a cutscene, boys. You go through the most epic boss fight battle of all of Call of Duty Zombies to end up talking to your former self, and he still has the goal to be drinking alcohol. He still has the goal to be drinking vodka and to forget his past and to mask it, and you really feel the true depth of the emotion with the music in the background, and you can feel and understand how the storyline is gonna go. You can see the gunshot on Nikolai's chest plate. You can feel the emotion as soon as Nikolai is forced to kill Ultimus Nikolai, as he even retaliates after you take everything away from him. It's so powerful. And on top of that, I think what just adds such a cherry on top is the revelations hype at the very end of this cutscene. It adds so much hype to the map, boys, and I think that's why this has got to be the best cutscene within the game. Garad Krovi's intro was amazing. Zetsubo no Shima's outro was amazing, and intro was amazing as well, but Garad Krovi's outro, especially with that revelations little tiny teaser, got the whole community stirred, and I honestly believe that we were at a mighty peak at this point in the Zombies game. But anyways, guys, I want to thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy the video, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm gonna be gone for a while, but I will be coming back hopefully for the Blackout beta. I will be back for the Blackout beta. But anyways, guys, thank you so much. We'll see you, ladies and gentlemen, in the next one.
This is Merlin Woodman. Everywhere I go is the woodlands. I need a honey butter, vodka in a Sprite can. When I'm in the water bugger, all the kids know who I am. I need a honey butter, put a lean in my Sprite can.